It's called flipping the classroom, and it's on the rise. To do it, teachers flip the traditional teaching process, sending their students home with video classroom lectures, online, on thumb drives, on DVD, wherever students can get them. The students watch the lectures at home, then come to class prepared to practice what they've learned with their teacher. McCammon, a former economics teacher turned curriculum and media specialist with the Friday Institute, developed his own system called Fizz to help teachers make the flip. During a recent visit to East Tennessee, McCammon sat down with me to talk about why he thinks flipping classrooms will change the classroom for both students and teachers.
You walk into the classroom the first day of school, and you have said everything there is to say about your content. And you tell your students that. I've published all of it. Now, let's get down to work.
You know you're going to have some kids who just don't participate in the way that you hope that they'll participate. So what happens to that classroom when you end up with some kids who have really gone ahead and they're following those lectures and they're engaged in that classroom versus the kids who maybe haven't done the homework?
The students who don't do their homework don't do their homework. It's not like that's a barrier for us to say, oh, we shouldn't move forward because there are students who won't do their homework. There will always be students who don't do their homework. Always, 100% of the time. The students who don't, you can focus in on them and try to help that behavior on a one-on-one basis. Your job as a teacher is no longer to stand in front and to talk about information. Your job is to go strengthen the relationships with each individual student every day.
So why hasn't this been picked up in more classrooms, do you think?
Well, it takes a lot of time to do it. The process of flipping the classroom is a process of changing yourself as a teacher. And that's hard for people to do, especially in the environment of education where we are not wholesale open to change. Matter of fact, we, as a system, as an economic system, we're pretty much change averse because it's a huge bureaucracy, right? And any kind of big change will cause change in jobs. It calls into question a lot of bigger issues than just, oh, it's just a teaching process. And I firmly believe that the revolution will be voluntary. I don't think we've seen many successful top-down approaches in education because it is an art. People need to come to it at their own terms, and they need to want to better themselves. They need to want to be more efficient and want to make better relationships with their parents and their students.
What have I missed, or what haven't we discussed, or what would you like to go back to?
I talk about reviving the art of teaching quite a bit. As a student coming through a teaching program, I felt like I entered that teaching program and they promised me lots of stuff. They promised me inquiry-based learning and collaborative learning, and all these higher level things. And then when you hit the classroom, you realize that with pacing guides and with standardized testing and with all this structure, you don't have time to do those things. The art of teaching where you're experimenting and innovating and sharing lessons with kids and having them learn by peer teaching and all that great stuff has been extracted from our classrooms because there's so much structure that there's no time to do innovation. And the greatest thing about flipping the classroom is it undoes that. It immediately unravels that problem because you're removing the main part of the information from the classroom, opening up as much class time as you want. Very few students sit and listen and learn, especially now, with all the digital media that is so engaging outside of the classroom, sitting 45 feet away from your teacher in the back row. They're talking about so much stuff. They never, ever have time in that semester to come back and even talk to you. Your parents don't know them. You don't have a relationship with them. This is offering a completely different solution to build those relationships, which is at the heart of student success.
Thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with me and talk through flipping the classroom.
Thank you very much for your time.